We know the success of Toyota and Honda's hybrid strategy right now, reaping all-time profits, increased electrification seemingly year over year at this point. I'm not even talking about battery electrics. I'm really just talking about the large game here in the United States with their hybrids. But what about Mazda and their hybrids? Other than their plug-in hybrids and mild hybrids, none have been seen here in the United States. What about Nissan? They have zilch in the United States. What about Mitsubishi? Today we're going to talk about the other Japanese automakers that are available in the United States, including, I don't even think I mentioned Subaru. What the heck is going on? Why are they so far behind? Today we're going to talk about what is coming for them in the hybridized realm to see if they can have decent options. If you don't want a Honda or Toyota hybrid, what else from Japan can you get? And I'm not even going to get my feet wet into the Korean camp. Their hybrids are crushing it right now, from Hyundai to Kia, from their smaller crossovers, the larger crossovers, and even sedans that have hybrids. Check out my review of the Elantra hybrid, which I think is still the most efficient vehicle I've tested. I think I got around 65 miles per gallon on that. Guys, definitely stay to the end as well. I'm going to go over some of the best vehicles I saw when I was in Japan. Honda invited me to Japan. If you missed those videos, make sure to check those out if you're a fan of Japanese cars. So I'm going to go over the coolest cars I saw when I was in Japan. I mean, the buses were even amazing. So definitely stay tuned for all of that stuff where I go over if you enjoy that nerdier side of me, and if you guys want to get in touch with their nerdier side. But let's get into the hybridization. Toyota Camry went full hybrid this year, and we're seeing all-time high hybrid and electrified penetration. Check this out. Total electrified vehicles for Toyota at the end of Q3 so far this year is 48.4%. And my estimations, they might be a little bit higher by the end of Q1 2025, getting close to that 50%. But once a RAV4, and my estimations, goes full hybrid with the next generation, we're looking at Q1 2026, we could see up to 62% or more electrified. That includes hybrids, plug-in hybrids, fully battery electrics, but the vast majority of those are going to come from the hybrid camp from Toyota. If we look at Honda, I think they might be close to maxed out, to be honest, with their hybrid penetration. At least for right now. They don't have any hybrids on their large platforms like the Odyssey, like the Passport, the Pilot, the Ridgeline. They would be benefiting incredibly if they had that, but instead they're just, they're like, hey, V6 is still desirable. I get it, but it's good to have more options. Regardless, the CR-V hybrid sales are 54% of the product sales. We know the Civic Hybrid is now available. Check out my driving impressions on it. It's very impressive. Up 18%. Well, should I say 18% of the Civic sales so far are about 18%. They want it to be 40%. So that'll keep growing. We know the Accord is, Accord's hybrid penetration is over 50%. We know the Camry's 100% at this point, right? But the Accord, the total sales volume is down on it because of the revised Ohio plant getting streamlined for a more flexible production process from ICE to hybrid to battery electric coming out of one assembly line in Ohio. So anyways, Honda is making all-time profits right now because of their hybrids. But what about Nissan? What about Mazda? What about Subaru? I'm sure, and Mitsubishi. Today we're going to dive into that. Can they offer some good alternatives to what Honda and Toyota are offering? Mazda hits hybrid high gear as Masahiro Moro, their CEO, teases new electrified technologies. Currently, they have a mild hybrid with their inline-six turbo on the CX-90. They have a plug-in hybrid with the CX-90, and that also includes the CX-70, which is the same vehicle. There's also the CX-80 that is now available in Japan. I swore I saw one when I was over there. It just launched this month. It looked just the same as the CX-90. Obviously, it's not quite as long in the back. It's not quite as wide of a vehicle, but they don't have the CX-90 over there, and I know it wasn't a CX-60. So I unfortunately was in a bus driving quickly by it. I didn't have my camera on my phone ready to take a picture. So you just have to take my word. You just have to trust me that I'm like 100%. I'm about 99% sure. I'll say that I saw a CX-80 when I was over there in Japan, in Tokyo. But what else do we have coming? This is a bit concerning for Mazda. We have no hybrids coming, at least with their own technology, not yet. But Mazda will be offering the CX-50 with the RAV4 Hybrids powertrain. And I will be getting it for a few days to test for you guys. I'll do a fuel economy test. I'll do a full-on review. Stay tuned for that. I should be getting it, I believe, this month in October. Things have been a bit crazy. I just got home yesterday from being displaced from the hurricane, but things are back to normal now. I'm happy to report from my office. Anyways, I will be getting the CX-50 hybrid to test for you guys, and I can't wait to do that. But it's still using Toyota technology, essentially a copy and paste of Toyota's engine. It's not even a Mazda engine. It's going to be a Toyota's four-cylinder that we see in the RAV4, so 219 horsepower. All-wheel drive will be standard, of course, with an e-axle in the back. But the CX-5 still outsells the CX-50, and we would love to see Mazda come in with a strong hybrid system, also known as a full hybrid. Mazda's going to do it in whatever way. Mazda's just so funky when it comes to powertrains. They are unlike any other manufacturer. They have Skyactiv X technology, which is pretty much thrown out the window at this point. Never made it to America, I don't believe. But they have two small rotary engines, a single rotor engine and a dual rotor engine that they could use as range extenders or in a hybrid system. Should I say specifically a strong hybrid, not a plug-in hybrid? A range extender would be in a plug-in hybrid or extended range electric vehicle. But they're saying that they could also hybridize the inline 4 and inline 6 with strong hybrids. Currently, the inline 6 has a 48 volt mild hybrid, but we don't get any other mild hybrids in America other than the inline 6 and the CX-70 and the CX-90. And then we have the plug-in hybrid on those vehicles as well, as I mentioned. Mazda's global hybridization, or should I say electrification penetration, is 24%. Remember, in the United States, it's much lower than that because we don't have a lot of the mild hybrids that you see in other markets. And electrified powertrains make up 85% of its sales in Europe, but just 22% of the US and Japanese markets we see that electrification. By 2030, Mazda wants 60 to 75% of its global lineup to be hybridized. The remaining, so that's 40 to 25% will be battery electric. In the meantime, when are these hybrids coming down the hatch? Obviously the CX-50, but it's probably going to be at low volume. They're really hamstrung on how much of those hybrid powertrains Toyota wants to give them. I imagine they would be more, the CX-50 hybrids probably going to be more expensive than the RAV4 hybrid, since they're having to buy that and then, market it in their own vehicle from Toyota. They got to source it from Toyota. That can't be as cheap as manufacturing your own. So Mazda, we just don't know when their strong hybrids will come in the CX-5. Maybe 2026, 2027. It seems like things are way too vague at this point. Hopefully Mazda's just, not showing their cards, which is very Japanese automaker of them. But I'm a little worried for Mazda and their strong hybrids at this point. Nissan, this is probably the most frustrating thing for me, is Nissan's hybrids right now. They're non-existent in the United States, and they won't be existent in the United States for many, many years to come. Check this out. E-Power Market, they're launching in fiscal year 2026. So fiscal year 2026 should be from April 1st, 2026 until March 31st, 2027. So we might not even see a US launch of these hybrids for Nissan until early 2027. At least it will be on a next generation hybrid powertrain in theory, right? This graph is kind of hard to understand, but check this out. They launched e-Power, their series hybrid setup in Japan 10 years before it'll make it to the US market. It's available everywhere else. Europe, China, Latin America. It's available everywhere else except the number one market that wants hybrids, which is North America. But supposedly they're going to be great if and when they ever get here, it seems like. And their e-Power, they seem to be pretty low in model availability by the time it gets here. So fiscal year 2026, when it comes to the United States, Nissan saying, we'll have more battery electrics than actual hybrids. Oh, but don't worry, we'll give you plug-in hybrids as well, which I'm excited for, but they might just be borrowing that technology from Mitsubishi, which we'll talk about today. We're not going to talk about the Chinese market, but anyways, yeah, Nissan just ghosting us in the United States with their hybrids. Meanwhile, their Qashqai, which is kind of like our Rogue Sport, but which hasn't, I mean, we don't get this version of the Rogue Sport. I think is the Rogue Sport even available in America anymore? Did they discontinue it? I don't even know. Anyways, the Qashqai with e-Power wins Best Powertrain accolade at UK Motor Awards. Nissan has an award-winning hybrid powertrain that they cannot seem to figure out how to bring to the United States, where they would sell them in droves, and it would fix so many of their problems with desirability. Currently, let's just look at the Rogue. Just hybridize the Rogue, right? With this Qashqai powertrain, this e-Power, they're taking the 1.6 liter triple cylinder turbo, and that is the you could say the generator for this setup. Okay, we have a small 3-cylinder turbo engine providing all the juice to the battery, which provides the juice to the 140 kilowatt motor, which is around 180 some horsepower. Supposedly this thing provides about over 45 miles per gallon, probably mainly city driven. I'm sure it'll lose its efficiency greatly on the highway like Honda's hybrids do as well, which there are some similarities. It's not the exact same system, but they both are very series hybrid engineered, I would say. So yeah, it's just like a kick in the pants, not only to the United States customers, but definitely for the United States dealers who just are seeing very little people come to their showrooms for new vehicle desirability. It's just really, really sad. They have hybrid powertrains in every other market but the United States, and I'm just going to roast Nissan for the next few years until they bring some desirable powertrains or just have that flexibility, right? Not everyone wants hybrids, but if you don't have a hybrid right now, you're losing out massively. All right, let's look at the Nissan Pathfinder. This is totally unrelated. And it should have a hybrid too, by the way, to compete with a lot of Toyota and Hyundai's large platform hybrids. But what I was worried about is because the QX60, which is the luxury version of this from Infiniti, they got rid of the V6 in it and put the VC turbo in it, which is okay in a smaller vehicle, but luckily, the Pathfinder keeps 3.5 liter V6, which keeps the desirability of that vehicle quite high. All right. Let's go to Mitsubishi, partner to Nissan. What about their hybrids? Well, Mitsubishi, at least in the United States, just has one hybrid, and that's the Outlander plug-in hybrid, and it is getting updated for 2025. We probably won't get it until 2026 because Europe is the stronghold for the Outlander plug-in hybrid. Unfortunately for Mitsubishi, in America, it is still the only desirable vehicle, I would say, out of their entire lineup. Nissan and Mitsubishi will be making pickup trucks in the next few years coming out of Mexico. So it'll be great to have a Mitsubishi pickup truck available in the United States again. But yeah, in the meantime, this plug-in hybrid is the best that they have to offer. So they're getting rid of the 9-inch screen for the 12-inch screen. But the big deal here is Inside EVs did a good write-up on the improvements here. It's going from a 20 kilowatt hour battery to a 22.7 kilowatt hour battery. So WLTP range is 53 miles. It's probably somewhere around 45, 46 miles on the EPA market. Also, it's getting a huge power boost other than getting a larger fuel tank, so it's better mile range. But we have from 252 horsepower, we get a 50 horsepower boost. That's more exciting to me. We also get different wheels here, as you guys can see, these new wheels here. And we also have active shutters, I believe, which is going to help with the fuel economy, the better range. But yeah, I'm really excited for the new Outlander plug-in hybrid. Again, just don't know exactly when it's going to be introduced to our market. I have a feeling it probably won't be introduced to 2026. Outside of that, Mitsubishi doesn't have any hybrids in the United States and may not have any hybrids in the United States for a long, long time. What about Subaru? Subaru had a Crosstrek plug-in hybrid for a while using Toyota technology. In Europe, they're getting the e-Boxer, which is a mild hybrid. That's not going to fly here. No one cares about mild hybrids in the United States. In fact, I don't know if anyone cares about mild hybrids in Europe. But with the new Forester, as I detailed in my review. It's really, really good. It's just incredibly slow. Oh my gosh, it's so hard for me to be in that vehicle. It just has no giddy up. Unfortunately, the engine's crying for dear life and nothing's happening. The vehicle is not moving. A hybrid would fix that, and it would also give it better fuel economy. So Toyota is helping Subaru here develop a hybrid for the Forester in the United States market with a 2.5-liter hybrid engine. And it is a Boxer, of course, but we don't have it that much information on it, to be honest. We don't have power output numbers. I don't know how all-wheel drive is going to work on this new Forester hybrid, if it's going to be symmetrical all-wheel drive, mechanical linkage, that would be my guess, or if it's going to have an e-axle on the back and sacrifice its all-wheel drive capabilities a little bit for the sake of hybridization and efficiency. We'll get this by the end of 2025, this Forester hybrid with Toyota hybrid technology, but again, it's going to be very, very unique for our market. Other than Porsche with their plug-in hybrids, I just don't know if anyone else has a Boxer or a horizontally opposed engine that's made it to a hybrid setup. So it's going to be pretty funky, just like how Mazda's rotary hybrids could be pretty funky as well. Let's get into my images of the coolest cars I saw in Japan. This could go on for a while, so make sure you guys have taken your potty break, or maybe you're already on the potty. Make sure you guys have grabbed your snacks and drinks, buckle in, because we have a lot of cars to go over. I'm not going to go over my whole trip in Japan. That would probably be more like a live stream. But the first vehicle, I got picked up in an i7 fully loaded. The last vehicle I expected to be picked up in Japan from the airport, fully electric with the executive package, or the screen in the back, the top screen that folds down. Watch my review on the i7. This was still in the parking garage leaving the Haneda airport. So there you go. You have the Crown Sport with the beautiful Crown logo there. I'm like, are you kidding me? We haven't even left the parking garage. You see an Alphard right next to it. Just Alphard taxis everywhere, Velfires everywhere. Levorg STI. If Subaru had a Levorg STI in America, be printing money. I don't get it. I don't understand the business decisions of these manufacturers. I mean, this vehicle is just so beautiful. The hood scoop. It's and they wonder why like the Impreza sales are down. I mean, the Impreza, I forget exactly what this vehicle is based off of. You guys will remind me down below, but to me, it looks like an Impreza wagon, but you can get it turbocharged, and the Impreza in the United States is just a dog. But yeah, the STI, look, the dual tip exhaust, just absolutely gorgeous. The buses in Japan, this is my tour guide, but the buses all had fun, funky seats. That was a lot of fun because every single bus was a little bit different. We went to Skytree, and Skytree is a gajillion feet off the ground. It's the second highest structure in the world. As you guys can see here, I was at the deck there with 450 meters. It was cool, but I'm a huge anime fan. I've watched Jujutsu Kaisen. The entire tower was laced with Jujutsu Kaisen anime nerdy stuff. And so they have tons of photo ops, even the brochures at Skytree. They have special drinks and stuff for the anime. It lights up. The tower lights up a certain way I'm guessing, for Jujutsu Kaisen. So like, it was just the nerdiest thing ever. I absolutely loved it. You can tell I'm taking selfies here with the main character. Photo op opportunities. And then for my kids at the end at the gift shop, they had Pokemon, Violet and Scarlet stuff, which has been a lot of fun. I went to Pokemon Center and bought a bunch of things for the kids. It's a lot of fun. There's the largest Buddhist temple in Japan, there in Tokyo. Didn't see any cars there, but I left for a little bit and I saw the new Honda Fit, which I also saw in the showroom of Honda HQ. Alphard with the executive lounge. It's hybrid all-wheel drive, quad tip exhaust. These things are sick. And these are just right, like 1, 2, 3. We got the Honda Inbox right next to it. I saw a Chevy. I don't even know what it was. Probably some sort of a Suzu collab vehicle there. This is the only Century I saw when I was there, and I got a quick snap of it when I was in the bus. Lexus LS, they're everywhere down in Japan, or at least in Tokyo, and almost all of them are hybrids. Oh, I saw DeLorean. So I'm pretty sure we were in Akihabara here, which is kind of like the nerdy weeb section. where you can see all the anime stuff, all the subculture stuff of Japan. But yeah, like what the heck, a DeLorean in Japan. Dragon Ball Daima just started today, if you guys are a Dragon Ball fan, but I had to stop and take a picture of this amazing display of Dragon Ball characters. Oh yeah, this was the Mario Kart style carts you guys can get in costumes and stuff. They were all over the Akihabara area. Let's see here. The food is the best in Japan, just know that. CRZ, once we got up to Utsunomiya, CRZs were everywhere. And I just heard a report that the new Prelude Hybrid is not going to have a manual. So it's unfortunate because Honda has showed that you can do manual with hybrid. It's just a big missed opportunity for fans. But CRZs were everywhere. Utsunomiya. Utsunomiya is where Honda Research and Development is. And it's also close to Motegi, where the Honda Collection Hall is, as well as the Motegi Raceway, Speedway. So let's see here. S660, it's kind of like this little K car. It's kind of the success of the Honda Beat. 4-door Integra Type R. And their Type Rs were everywhere in Utsunomiya. It was just incredible. RSX/Integra Type R. Just amazing. Really nerded out when I was up there. It's like Honda capital of the world. Another CRZ there. Check out this Civic hatchback Type R. Again, they're just everywhere up there. A bunch of Honda E's at the Honda gym. Here's a cool little Fit I saw. It was like a Fit RS. Rest in peace, Fit here in the United States. There's the bezel. There's an N1 in front of it. The bezel, this generation bezel is the same as the Honda HR-V in America, but now they've kind of gone separate ways. And then here was Honda R&D press event was here. Q&A with the executives. I thought this was interesting. Outside of Honda R&D, there's an evacuation area. I don't know if that was for earthquakes. I'm not entirely sure, but they had a little evacuation area. Maybe people go there for a smoke. This little Honda Fit was put on a flatbed. So I thought that was interesting. Oh, right. The park right outside of Honda R&D, there's a little Cadillac crossover. I already forget what this model is called. There's also a Corvette there. They're there day over day. And one of the days they had bikes. So they go and park here. They take their bikes out of their vehicle, which I don't know how you put a bike in a Corvette, but someone has figured it out. And they go bike and then they return to this park. I saw Lexus RZ fully electric there. Didn't expect to see that. Here is their ZRV, which is our HR-V now, because we no longer get the technical bezel. I saw Molten Pearl RC here, and this is just like any parking lot in Japan is just like a candy store. Like here's an S660, little K truck, probably a little Honda Acti. I mean, the stuff you see is just mind blowing. I can't even tell that looks like a BMW coupe, but yeah, it is just absolute fantasy land. I saw an MX-30 there, and I'm sure it wasn't like fully electric. It's probably the mild hybrid version that we didn't get here. But MX-30 representing in Japan. These things were at Motegi. These are kind of called the Honda Fit shuttles, and they're hybrids. They're pretty cool. And I have another vehicle that is similar to that, which we'll cover today as well. Here's my Honda Collection Hall pictures. We'd be here all day. I have a separate video for that. I was fortunate enough to take a bus to get onto Motegi Raceway. This is before the MotoGP event. And it was pretty fantastic. I'm not going to go over I was on a tour bus going around Motegi. So that's all I'm going to show you. They were pretty coy on us talking about being at Motegi and getting to experience Motegi. They were like, hey, don't take pictures or share videos on social media. But I'm like, okay, all right, well, then why take us on here? Long live the Suzuki Samurai. Long live the Suzuki Jimny. These things are just super cute. And oh yeah, and I saw at one of the Honda parking lots, we had a Ridgeline, first gen Ridgeline there, which is pretty cool. I'll check out this Prado, man. This thing was absolutely gorgeous. I tried to take more pictures of it, but it was turning quickly. But yeah, that Prado is one of the most beautiful Land Cruisers I've ever seen. Here's another look of it. Just just perfect. Not sure why I took this picture. I think this is a Toyota Sienta. And you have an Alphard, maybe a Velfire in there as well. Oh, an LSF Sport. The new Priuses are everywhere over there, by the way. Here's another Jimny with the Sierra trim. Corolla Crosses are everywhere. Lexus NX. I have no idea. Not a clue what that thing is. Oh, there's a Type R in the background there. This was just in the parking lot where we were loading our bus. I saw quite a few RXs over there, and almost all of them were F Sport 500Hs. So that must be one of the more common RXs available in Japan. Check this Harrier out. Same thing as our Venza, but this had a body kit on it, of course. Oh, this was so cool. This is just in an alleyway peeking down. We have the new Honda Vezel parked next to an NA Miata. I had a white NA Miata, so good memories there. I think this is a Suzuki Copen. And there's also a lot of minis in Japan. I mean, it makes sense because of the small streets there. Honda Legend, same thing as Acura RLX. This had super handling all-wheel drive, so pretty cool. That Legend badge there, really geeking out over that. This is the Toyota Windom, the same vehicle as a Lexus ES. So this could be an ES300 or ES330 equivalent. And then once Lexus was introduced to Japan in the mid-2000s, this vehicle went to the Lexus ES instead of the Toyota Windom. Here's a Toyota Pet or Toyo Pet dealership, which I thought was fun. An RX-8 just parked in somebody's backyard. Also around this time, I didn't get my camera out because we went by it so fast, was a Nissan Silvia. It was not stock. It looked amazing. It took me a while to figure out what I was looking at. Just a vehicle an amazing sports coupe we never got here in the United States, a Nissan Silvia. Quite a few Delicas, and man, are they all super amazing. The Delica is coming to the United States for the next generation, and it will be a plug-in hybrid. Off-roading minivan. I cannot wait for it. What did I see here? Oh, a Honda Ridgeline on the street. That's what I saw. Bamboo Forest. Let's see here. Okay, here are the guys with the bikes and the Corvette, like I mentioned, and this XRS or whatever this failed Cadillac SUV was called because they don't make it anymore. All right, I already talked about my Honda Zero driving impressions. Here was all the cool stuff. We did a little tea ceremony, went to Honda Collection Hall. It was busy. When I was there last year with David Chow at the Honda Collection Hall, it was empty. But I think it's because it was MotoGP week. There's so many tourists in town and journalists for motorcycles that they were really nerding out. They had a MotoGP bike here, and you could be on it. And it was really hard to hold this position because gravity's pulling you straight down. You don't have the G-forces pulling you into the bike as you turn. So it was not easy to stay in that position. This is Soichiro's Honda's water tanks down in the basement. They actually, these are made from wood. And well, obviously they're wooden tanks. This is an opportunity I'll never get again because this building's being torn down. Soichiro Honda wanted these water reservoirs to be available in terrible times. So earthquake or tsunami or, monsoons, all this stuff, mudslides, whatever, in every single terrible natural disaster that Japan gets, he wanted to have available water if things hit the fan. All right. So these tanks are still down there. They're Soichiro's water tanks. Made from wood from Canada, which is pretty neat because we had a lot of Canadian media with us. And what an amazing experience. And it smelled like a sauna down there. It's probably about 90, 95 degrees at the bottom of Honda HQ. But these tanks will have to be, I don't even know what's going to happen because this building's going to be torn down and they're going to rebuild a Honda HQ to be a more modern facility here in the future. So I probably will never see these again. And I don't know if they're going to last ever, like into the next building that they build on top of here. So I think I want to say this is 1100cc inline 4 water cooled, I believe as well. We just don't get this bike in America. We get the Transalp over there. The CBR 650R, just an absolutely gorgeous bike that we do get in America. It has the E-clutch on it, which is now available. This is a SCL 500 that's available in the United States. It's actually in my garage right now as a loaner from Honda. All right, back to vehicles. Yes, here is the Skyline. This is not an Infiniti. This is, it says Skyline right here. This is not the Q50 that we get in the United States as an Infiniti. It's the same car, just badged different. 300 series Land Cruiser. Pretty cool to see those on the streets there. This is the Ginza area, Ginza 6 building here. Ginza is like huge shopping center. It's very expensive there. This Velfire is looking sick. It had a V6, which is rare nowadays. Obviously, it's an older model, but I like the license plate. A bunch of 7s. It's good luck. Oh, and then I also saw this right behind it, a new Prado, Land Cruiser J250. Obviously, this is a Land Cruiser we get here in America, not the 300 series. So that was a nice surprise. I did go inside here, but a different day, so I'll have to get into that. GR Yaris. So we're in the Shibuya Crossing, the most famous crosswalk in the world, or the most populous crosswalk in the world. So we're looking down upon it. Pretty cool, right? I was there last year with David Chow at this same area. Look at this Hilux. I believe this is a Hilux, looking incredible. The crosswalk there, don't need to see that too much. Here is Hachiko dog statue, and there was a similar breed of dog there at this statue, which is pretty funny, except Hachiko was much bigger than this. So yeah, here's Shibuya Crossing again. Lots of cars to be seen there. We went to Meiji Shrine, not going to talk about that. Okay, here's the Nissan Collection Hall. I don't even know what to call it. Nissan Crossing. Here are the two vehicles they had. They had a Datsun sedan and a Skyline 2000 GT from 1974. They also had this crazy concept there that was at the Japan Mobility Show called the Hyperpunk. It's so conceptualized, I don't care. This is their, I believe this is their Formula E car, which I thought was pretty cool. I accidentally bumped a guy's head. This guy's head right here as I was trying to take a picture of it. I felt bad and kind of ghosted after that. And then saw the Skyline 2000 GT, one of the coolest cars I saw when I was in Japan. Just absolutely gorgeous. And this little Datsun was pretty neat as well. Little slice of history. Open. This is funny. It was pouring. You can see everyone had their umbrellas out. And there were some people on the top of the double-decker bus for a tour. At that Nissan place in Ginza, we also had some cool little model cars there. Nismo. I mean, I'd love to have this in the background of my office, just a little Nismo pop-up illuminated thing. This was a Peugeot. I don't even know the model name, but Peugeot, you guys tell me if you're European or if you just know for some reason you have knowledge of Peugeots in America. Let me know what that is, but I saw a French vehicle there. Anytime I saw a motorcycle, this guy passed me. Actually, I let him go in front of me. It was raining, and I stopped at the crosswalk so he could go, so he didn't have to stop in the rain. So he gave me some nods, some polite nods. Let's see. I think we're running out of cars here. Here's what they call the Crown crossover. It's called the Crown sedan here in the United States. Here's a Velfire, or no, it's a Lexus LM 500H. This is the new model Lexus LM. Again, we don't get that. This is a Honda Fit RS shuttle, so that's the wagon. Here's another image of it. Just a really, really cool vehicle here. But this might, you know what, this might not be the Honda Fit wagon. This could also be the Jade, and the Jade was, as one of you guys mentioned, it's a hybrid wagon, kind of like the Civic. Yeah, this is what it looks like, right? The Honda Jade. It's a really cool like Civic style wagon, and you can fit a lot of people in there. There's a 5-seater version. There's also like a 6-seater version, I think. Yeah, see, 2+2+2 seating layout. But I believe they're all made, well, there were some made in Japan as well as in China, but it was discontinued in 2020. Rest in peace, Honda Jade. A little Nissan Cedric action. This is kind of the competitor in some ways to, I don't know if the Century, but probably the Crown from Toyota. A little Nissan K car. I don't even know what that was, but it was really cute. And then here we go, the Land Cruiser Prado, similar to our Lexus GX that we have here stateside. But that was it. That was all the cars I saw, the crazy cool cars I saw in Japan. So thank you guys for watching this really long video. It was just really impressive how many of those vehicles in Japan were hybrids. They don't produce any oil in Japan, so they have to import it all. So they need to make the most of the fuel that they have. So they hybridize their vehicles to make their fuel last longer. Here in the United States, it's getting to that point as well where we don't really enjoy spending a lot of money on gas. So hybrids are the answer for a lot of people. That's why, I don't know, I like making videos on hybrids. I think they're fascinating and a very desirable tech for a lot of people. Anyways, I got to shut it down. Very long video. Thank you guys for watching. Take care of yourselves and peace out.